game innovation, new head at Unity, some site news, and more. I'm Simon, and this is WSGF News. This week, Chris and my schedule didn't line up too well, so we took the equipment and we came back to my place here at my desk. Kind of feel like a news reporter just sitting here at a desk talking to a camera. It's kind of cool. I dig it. Anyway, so if you did not check the website this past week, first of all, bad on you, shame on you. You should always check the website, Simon says. But you would have caught if you didn't catch the news, we are kind of teaming up a little bit, or we're going to visit and we're helping out an Extra Life team here in town. If you don't know, Extra Life is a kind of a fundraiser for raising money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And they reached out to us because they wanted to use this bad boy here, the DK2. BTW, we have the Oculus DK2. We're going to be doing something with it soon, very, very soon, just not sure when, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I know we keep saying that, but we're trying to get a large group of people together to do this. I'll just leave that out there. So some things sometimes don't line up real well. Anyway, so they want to borrow the DK2, so we said, sure, we'll swing by too if they want us, and they said, sure. So check the streams. Actually, check out the website. epicdefault.com is the team. Apparently, they do podcasts and stuff as well. And it's just spelled one word, Epic Default. We'll have a link below. And check out their stream. I guess by now the stream is going to be over. So check out their site. See if you can still donate. I think they have a link to the Extra Life donation. We have a link on the front page, and I'll link it below as well. Hopefully you can still donate. I wouldn't see why you couldn't still donate after the event. But it was a live 24-hour gaming event. That's what Extra Life is. People donate to watch people play video games, and the money goes to all the money and proceeds go to the children's hospitals and the Children's Miracle Network. And you can specify which hospital I think you want to if you're raising funds, like Epic Default is. And I think at least a couple of the members are going to the Texas Children's Hospital, which is a hospital here in town. So that's really cool. We're helping out the community here on just gaming and stuff in general. Let's talk about some game innovation. Now, there's a popular game you may not have heard about. It's called Minecraft. Actually, I like to stream it. If you've never checked out my stream, you should check it out. I usually have links on Twitter. Anyway, apparently a team of professors and students at the University of Texas at Dallas, which is a satellite school, created a mod for Minecraft. Now, why is this important? Because what it does is brings in elements of polymer chemistry. Now, why is that important? Because you can harvest things together, and you can pull things like, I think, rubber and any sort of chemical material in order to make some certain materials later on in the game, kind of like any other mod, and you can build upon that. Now, why is that really important? Because one of the things you can make is a flamethrower. Why are we not playing this right now? Really, really exciting to see. I haven't messed with the mod yet, but this team put together this mod in order for educational purposes. Of course, there's a little fun purposes in it, I assume, with flamethrowers and all. And just really exciting to see, and very interesting for me to see games being pushed beyond their limits by community members with mods and stuff like that. Now, talking about kind of not really necessarily game innovation, but game tech innovation, there is a company or a scientist at Carnegie Mellon University that are developing a robot to allow you to be sent to the moon and to allow you to view the moon in 3D using the Rift. So it'll have, I guess, multiple cameras, and it'll do like a dome mode, and you can look around. I'm not too sure. I read the article earlier in the week, and I need to reread it again. But I'm not too sure if it's one person at a time, or if it's just a 360-degree camera, and it just takes pictures, and everyone can view it, kind of like a panoramic sort of thing. But still, being able to give the experience of being on the moon to the average person is super exciting to me, especially since I live in Houston and we have NASA. So a lot of innovation, not necessarily in games, but games and games tech coming along. Really, really excited. I just got no words. It's a great time to live in right now. I can only imagine what will come next. Speaking of the DK2, we did go, or at least I did go see the Interstellar kind of road tour. And what it was is a DK2, and you're flying through the ship. It's kind of an on rails thing, and it's just an experience. You go through the rift, you go through the ship, you're looking through the rift, and then you kind of warp out, and that's the end of the thing. It's like a quick couple minute demo. I actually took some people with me that never experienced a DK2, and they were just stunned. We got lunch afterwards, and we're just talking, really just super, super stunned. So, and we're going to do something like that, some experience videos, hopefully soon with the DK2. We keep talking about it. It's coming up soon. We just got to schedule everyone and make sure they can all show up at the same time. But a lot of cool things in game and game tech innovations. Those are just some random ones I found interesting. If you have any that you are interested in, go ahead and comment below and tell us what you've been reading about, what you've been seeing, and just so we can see what else is out there that we might have missed. So Unity is in the news today. If you don't know, Unity is a very cross-platform game engine. It's used on computers, Windows, Macintosh, Linux, specifically, or mostly Ubuntu, but it's Linux nonetheless. It's also used on game consoles, used on Xbox, used on PlayStations, used on the Nintendo Wii U, and it's also used on cell phones. It's used on Android, it's used on iOS, BlackBerry, Windows Phone. So very, very cross-platform. It's a very, I think, important, at least in my opinion, it's a very important piece of software and game development software for just game development in general. Can I say development one more times, right? Now, they just announced on their blog page that they have hired as a new CEO, Mr. John Riccitiello. Now, if you don't know, Mr. Riccitiello was the former CEO of EA. He stepped down, I believe, in 2013, early 2013, from the company, and I think this is the first thing he's really done since then. I think some sort of time has been spanned since then. Now, what's kind of interesting and a little possibly disheartening, and this is thanks to a video posted back in 2011. It's from a YouTube user called Big Cudafish. It's a recording of a meeting with Riccitiello, and I guess it's a closed door meeting or something like that, where it's him talking a little bit, and it's for just a minute, about microtransactions. And he doesn't really state it this way, but it's really how he's excited and how the business model of kind of taking advantage of the gaming situation of a gamer to say, hey, do you want to wait, or do you want to just pay money to have something immediately? He uses the idea of reloading. You've shot your clip on a video game and you have to wait to reload, or you can either wait to reload or you can pay $1 and immediately reload. And so, you know, we here, at least myself, I'm not too fond of that sort of pay to play, pay to win system or pay to game system. And so that's a little disheartening. Now, Unity is just a game engine. It's not actually a game. There are games made with it. They do have an asset store, which people who are designing games with Unity do can pay to use the assets, you know, to make it easier to make a game, to make decrease time, especially for smaller game companies. But my hope is that it's not gonna, like, Unity's not gonna have a pay to win, pay to play system. I don't know. I think I've been pretty vocal about that sort of thing, like excessive DLC, sorry, and paying to win sort of thing. And so it just unnerves me to see that, or it scares me to see that someone who's very, very big and into this idea of pay to win is involved with a company that has such a reach all over the gaming industry. I mean, it may not be the most popular engine, but it does have a flexibility to be tossed on multiple gaming platforms. We will link the blog post and the YouTube video. And it's a video with just really just audio on it, and we'll link those below, and you can form your own opinion on it. Yeah, I don't know. It scares me a little, but I mean, we'll see how that works out. I do, I do feel like EA, since at least 2013 or maybe even 2011, has kind of stepped away from that money. I guess really all I can say is money grabbing mindset. They actually had a customer service survey recently. If you're an EA Origin person, you probably got it, asking questions about stuff like that. And so if you got that survey, by the way, you should probably fill it out. But I feel like EA's kind of stepped away from that mindset. There is still a little bit of it, especially with the DLC side of things. But hopefully we won't see something like this implemented too hard in Unity-based games. So we'll see. So before we get into any site news, just kind of a quick announcement and congratulations to the developers of Stanley Parable. They announced on their Twitter earlier, or at least one of their Twitters earlier this week, that Stanley Parable has reached 1 million sales. I assume on Steam, because it is on Steam. First of all, congratulations to you. If you don't know, Stanley Parable is kind of it's not really a traditional first-person game. It's more of like you make decisions and the game progresses on that. It's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure book, if you remember those. That's really the best description I can think of, is a choose-your-own-adventure book. You make a decision, and your decision is based upon that. I guess it kind of takes the question of, are you really making decisions in game if all the decisions have to be made prior to the publishing of the game? Because in order to progress the storyline. So really, do you have control? It's an interesting game, and there's a lot of achievements for it. So it's a lot of replayability for it to find all the different pathways you can choose for the game. But congratulations to the Stanley Parable for reaching that 100 million mark. If you missed it earlier, and we posted on the IRC and we were watching that, Kingdom Come, Kingdom Come Deliverance did a live stream on YouTube showing off some of their map. If you don't know, it was a Kickstarter game. I think the Kickstarter still is up, or there is some sort of donation system similar to Kickstarter on their website in order to help fund the game. Kind of like a Skyrim-esque game. It's a knight RPG, I guess, or a medieval RPG, action RPG sort of game. So really exciting. They were talking about, at least the moment I came on, talking about the bow aspects, and it's, you have a longbow, and they're talking about when you draw it back, it starts to shake, because longbows aren't actually designed for just holding and aiming. It's more designed for just like that, because apparently what they said is when they went out and did research and went to the archery ranges, they were saying that actually when you hold a longbow too long, because of the stress of the pull, the actual bow can shatter due to that. And they're actually talking about, I don't know if they're actually going to implement it. We're talking about it being cool to actually see kind of a bow shatter happen in the game when you hold back the string too long, the drawstring too long. But they're talking about when you hold back the drawstring too long, it starts to get a little shaky, so your aim kind of messes up. So that's really exciting just to see a game like that being developed. So talking about site news and talking about games, we had a couple DRs that were posted. I'm going to kind of go over the computer real quick. We had one, Depth of Fear. Now, it is a silver on widescreen. It is limited multi-monitor, so it's rated to C. It's silver on 21:9, so I guess it has the same display options and display solutions as a widescreen. And nothing for 4K at the moment. So there's some registry edits that are needed in order to make it work for different gaming views. If you go to the DR on that one, you can check those out. Now, another DR that was posted was a lot of initials on this one. WRC4 FIA World Rally Championship. So it looks like it's a racing game, racing rally sort of game. And there's really nothing, it's not really rated. I guess there was an issue with it. But there's a lot of solutions that are required in order to get it to higher resolutions. Apparently it has native anamorphic support up to 1920 by 1200, but anything above that is going to require an I edit. And it looks like the same thing for 21:9. So check that out if you're into some racing games, or if you have that game. Another game, which looks like a motocross game, is MXGP, the official motocross game. Now it's rated gold for widescreen. but it has a limited multi-monitor support, and 21 by 9 is just flat out unsupported. Looks like the screen change is an anamorphic, so real sad to see that. There are some solutions to make it sort of work in 21 by 9. It looks like it's an I edit, and it's got a pillar box picture, minimal support. You kind of pretty much use the method to getting widescreen support. Same thing with this game. It's native support up to 1920 by 1200, but anything higher than that, it's going to need I edit. So there's that game if you're into racing. Now I'll talk about another motocross game, MotoGP 14, rated gold for widescreen. So exciting to see that. But same thing, it's limited multi-mod support, and it has no widescreen support, no ultra widescreen support, so no 21 by 9. Same thing with that. So I assume it's the same engine. That's kind of interesting. 21 up to 1920 by 1200 is supported. Anything higher than that, I edit. Same thing for you getting multi-monitor, or not multi-monitor, I'm sorry, for ultra widescreen to work. And yeah, pillar box for the iFinity as well, or iFinity multi-mod setup. Now, it's in beta, but we have the DR up for, and we were talking about this in the IRC, we have the DR up for Orcs Must Die Enchained. It's a MOBA version of Orcs Must Die. So multiplayer, almost like that Dota 2 League of Legends style play. And right now it's got limited widescreen support, and it has limited multi-monitor support. What we noticed is on the screenshots is it's vert minus, and I can't remember playing Orcs Must Die, see if it was vert plus or vert minus, or horizontal plus or vert minus. But the wider you go, the muse more up and top, which is what vert minus means. You subtract the vertical, which is kind of sad to see something like that happen. Now for iFinity, it's initially in vert minus, but when you start playing, or if you do an I edit, you can switch it from vert minus to horizontal plus. So really exciting to see at least that aspect of it playing. So if you're interested in those DRs, you check those out. If you have any games that we don't have up, you should make a DR. Do your DRs, and it'll help us all out. Thanks again for tuning in to WSGF News. I am Simon, also known as the Destroyer on the forums. You can catch us on Twitter. Chris is at Computer Lasco. I am at the Destroyer FTW, and the main Twitter is at WSGF. Check out our Facebook page, our Google Plus page, and our Steam community. We have rolled out with Steam curators. Now, instead of doing just ratings on actual games and how the games play, we're just doing ratings and on how they are displayed. So we're taking our DRs and applying them to games. So if you're looking for games and you see that we have a Steam curator little comment about it, it'll be a lot easier to say, oh, hey, look, it'll play on my system, my multi-monitor system, my widescreen system, my 21 by 1 system, or 21 by 9 system, or my 4K system. So it makes things a lot easier. So it kind of somewhat integrates the WSGF DRs into the Steam store. And also, of course, we'll include on every one of those little blurbs a link to the DR so you can read more up on it. Or if you don't see a rating or wondering why isn't that specific rating on that game, you can see why and if it's viable to actually get that game. Now, you should also, speaking of DRs, do your DRs. We talked about some DRs earlier today. Those motocross games, Orcs Must Die Unchained, and Depth of Fear, I think. Depth of Fear, that's what it was. So do them out, help each other out. There's no way, at least I can buy every single game. So if you have a game that you're interested in and you have access to it, do a DR, help everyone out, so that way we can get the biggest, or continue being the biggest collection of information for display solutions for video games going out there right now. So check out your DRs, post your battle stations. I haven't seen any battle station posts lately. Remember, I want to do this calendar, and time is running out. I want to be able to have this calendar in the shop, ready to be printed at the end of November, so that way we can get it out around Christmas time. Be an awesome Christmas present, right? Anyone who is a enthusiast of computer setups. But do your battle station picks. Just go to general battle stations and just post a forum like, hey, this is my stuff, and we can talk about it if you're interested. And we'll post on this thing. We've had mine. We've had other people's rigs up on here. So post your battle stations. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe this video. We appreciate you. We enjoy you tuning in, and believe that's it. So we will see you next time.